Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Days of Our Lives spoiler preview video for the week of July 8th to 12th shows that Robert Bobby Stein alias Everett Lynch will correct Jada Hunter when she claims the cops already know who killed Lee Shin. Bobby will argue that someone other than Gil Carter is to blame, therefore he will likely point the finger onto Connie Valinsky instead. Connie is undoubtedly culpable, since Days recently revealed her guilty flashback and based on the knife scene in DOL's weekly preview trailer, she may feel compelled to attack again. Of course, we should discuss the consequences of Gabby Hernandez de Mera's news conference announcement. Gabby will reassure Nicole de Mera that what she claims is true, prompting Nicole to seek the truth from EJ de Mera. Even if EJ initially denies his lie, it's obvious that the game is up. Nicole will realize EJ knew Eric Brady was Jude Brady's father, and she will call him a bastard and shove him in a fit of wrath. Later, EJ will have a strong outburst of his own, as seen in Days' weekly promo, as he shouts while smashing a drinking glass. This will be the start of EJ's revenge on Gabby and Stefan de Mera, so they better be prepared. Back with Nicole, she will rush to the airport with Jude in tow. Nicole will prevent Eric from flying to Paris and will surprise him by informing him that Jude is his son, paving the way for a family reunion. Next, Chad de Mera will update Jack Devereaux on his plans to exhume Abigail de Mera's remains. Jack will be upset that Chad wants to dig up his daughter's body, but Chad will explain the Mystery Woman film and what Clyde Weston now claims. Jack will eventually recognize that taking this step is vital since Abigail may still be alive. When Abigail's casket is opened and a terrible discovery is made, Chad and Jack may be left reeling over her missing body. Over with Tate Black, he will implore Alex Kyriakis not to tell Teresa Donovan. Alex appears to have discovered Tate's latest ploy with Holly Jonas, which will put him in a difficult situation. Finally, Days' preview video emphasizes that it marks the end of an era. Bill Hayes' farewell episode as Doug Williams airs on July 11th, so grab your tissues and watch Doug's poignant final scene with Julie Williams. Kate went to the Carver Price home to offer her sympathies, but Abe was alone. "How is Chanel?" Kate asked. "She's taking it pretty hard," Abe explained. Kate inquired about Paulina. "She is also taking it hard. She's heartbroken for her daughter, and she blames herself for the miscarriage," Abe explained. Kate questioned why. Abe reminded Kate that Paulina had exposed Chanel to radiation. "So, she thinks that's the reason that Chanel lost the baby?" Kate asked. "Paulina believes it may be the reason. Paulina is currently in the hospital, looking for answers," Abe stated. Kate inquired if there was anything she could do to help. "I will let you know. I simply appreciate your company," Abe stated. Kate proposed Abe a business concept after the two of them joked about his coffee-making talents. Kate mentioned that she wants to make a television show. "Obviously, it would be a learning curve for both of us," she remarked. Kate maintained that she and Abe constituted an excellent combination. "Also, Abe, I really miss working with you," she continued. "I miss it, too," Abe replied. Abe inquired about a police performance, but Kate shrugged. "How would we top Law and Order?" Kate said. Abe agreed. "So, what do you have in mind?" Abe asked. Kate told Abe that Will had encouraged her and Abe to pursue a passion project. After a minute, Abe admitted that he had become a fan of the soap show Body and Soul. Kate laughed. Abe explained why he loved the show. After showing Kate some of his favorite soap, Abe requested her opinion. Kate agreed that the show was intriguing. "My only concern is that I read somewhere that soaps are a dying genre," Kate told me. Abe contended that many shows stole storylines from soap operas. "Perhaps we can shoot it here," Kate responded, "and maybe that would be cheaper." Kate stated that she would be willing to invest and that she knew of a few people who may as well. Abe grinned. "I think we are going to do this," Abe stated. Kate recommended they begin researching. "I am really excited," Kate added. Abe agreed. At the hospital, Paulina spoke with Kayla about Chanel's discharge. Kayla stated that she did not know, but Chanel was physically well. Is there anything I can do to help? Kayla asked. Paulina claimed she had been unable to sleep since she didn't know if she was the source of Chanel's discomfort. Miscarriages are more common than people think, and it could have been caused by any number of things, Kayla told me. Paulina maintained that the physicians had not ruled out the possibility that radiation was the reason. Chanel blames me. I blame myself. So I need to know. Is there any way to know for certain what caused my daughter's miscarriage? Paulina asked. Kayla consented to review Chanel's chart, but reminded Paulina that she could not discuss it without Chanel's permission. That is okay. Even if it turns out I was at fault, she won't have to deal with the uncertainty, Paulina added. Chanel wiped away tears as she told Johnny about her dream in her hospital room. We were attending our baby shower. And I had a large tummy. And all of our friends and family were present. And we were all so excited to meet our child, Chanel explained. Johnny smiled as Chanel narrated her shower experience. I was quite thrilled, Johnny. Chanel murmured, and you were, too. A tear streamed down Johnny's cheek as he smiled at Chanel. And then I woke up, and I realized that we would never, ever meet Noel because he or she is no longer with us, Chanel told me. Johnny climbed into Chanel's bed and held her as she began to sob. When Chanel cooled down, she asked Johnny if he had spoken with Peyton Russo. Johnny shook his head, no. I left him a message last night, but I haven't heard back from him, Johnny stated. Johnny pointed out that the director had more pressing concerns to address than Johnny's absence. Johnny received a call from Peyton. After a brief phone discussion, Johnny hung up. Johnny confirmed that he'd been replaced on set. Maybe you could join the production at a later time? Chanel stated. Johnny chuckled and stated that he didn't want to be anywhere other than with Chanel. Paulina was pacing the corridor as Johnny wheeled Chanel's wheelchair out of her hospital room. Are you going home? Paulina asked. Chanel looked away from Paulina, and Johnny stated that Dr. Green had released her. As Johnny began to wheel Chanel away, Paulina requested to say something first. I don't want to talk right now, Chanel grumbled. I promise it will not take long. I just wanted to express how sorry I am. If I could travel back in time, I would do things differently. I adore you to the moon and back. And I never intended to hurt you or your unborn kid. Now, I understand that you may never forgive me. But even if you do, I will regret what I did for the rest of my life, Paulina explained. Chanel requested Johnny to take her home. Johnny started wheeling Chanel away when Kayla returned. I'm delighted I caught you, Chanel. Kayla remarked, I was just reviewing your lab results, and I think there is something you should know. What did you find out? Chanel asked. Kayla volunteered to talk discreetly, but Chanel pushed her to speak openly. Dr. Green understood you were concerned about the cause of the loss. So doctor did some more tests, and the results just came in, Kayla explained. Paulina inquired as to whether the reason had been radiation exposure. It wasn't. You experienced what is known as a partly molar pregnancy. It occurs at conception. It's not very common, but if you want, I can get you some information about it. But, basically, the fetus wasn't viable from the start, Kayla explained. Chanel inquired if this meant she was always doomed to miscarry. Kayla nodded in agreement. Chanel rose to her feet, tears running down her cheeks, and hugged her mother. Ma, I am so sorry that I blamed you for everything, Chanel said me. You hush. You have absolutely nothing to apologize for, Paulina said. But I was so cold to you, so mean, Chanel responded. Paulina assured Chanel that everything would be fine. Kayla advised Chanel that they would need to observe her for several months. Johnny, worried, inquired as to why. It's unlikely, but just to make sure there's no complications, Kayla informed me. Worried, Paulina asked Kayla whether she could remotely watch Chanel in Los Angeles. Chanel stated that this was not necessary because they had opted to stay in Salem. Stephanie paid a visit to Marlena in the penthouse and informed her that Steve had been released from the hospital. But I'm guessing you didn't ask me here for an update on my dad, she continued. Marlena informed Stephanie that Everett hadn't made much progress. Bobby is still in control, Marlena stated. Marlena explained that she and the Bayview staff wanted Stephanie to speak with Bobby since she knew Everett well. That's why you asked me here? Stephanie said. Marlena nodded in agreement. Stephanie stated that, despite their close relationship, she had not spent enough time with Everett to get to know him. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.